Happy Monday and welcome back to the CommStock Channel. My name is Brian Hendrickson and today I have Justin with us. Welcome.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Cold, wet weather up here. Slow harvest weekend. Hopefully, everybody gets back rolling today or tomorrow. Looks like we should get some more done this week.
I think it officially for everybody kind of got fall this weekend.
Get real fall here. I know you said it was cold down there too, but it's getting there.
I think the other day I watched somebody walk out from the store in like their heavy winter coat and I was like, it's just 50 degrees, y'all. But down here it's cold. So I think they're happy with it.
Good.
So let's talk about last week somewhat. USDA reports came out. Let's talk about the specific field, exports.
Yeah, so here we go. Again, we saw the USDA dump their WASD data last week. Market shot higher, as I know you guys talked about on Friday. But here, as we kind of peel back the onion a little bit on that, we're looking at corn exports here today, that were released Thursday, 35.8 million bushels. You know, that's significantly less than the week before, 71.5. Moving forward, we definitely need to see some better sales coming along. Definitely need to see some follow through come through in October. As we move forward, the 5-year pace slightly below it. Need to see that pick up. Hopefully, with this rain event coming or the pass through, we'll see some water in the Mississippi and also possibly get some better barge freight rates. See a little bit more shipments pick up here last half of October, moving into November. We put this together, or I put this together this morning before the export inspections were released, so we don't have a slide for that. But shipments came in this week at 17.1 million bushels versus last week at 31.7. So shipments continue to lag. We need to do about 35.5 million bushels the balance of the year. Not an unachievable number, but on the same token, need to see something pick up here, at least the last 2 weeks in October on the corn side of things.
Realistically, is that something that we can meet very quickly, or is this something that we're scraping every penny we have?
I think that unless we see, we'll probably be somewhere close, plus or minus, maybe 100 million bushels or somewhere when the year shakes out. But without some pretty big, large purchases coming in the next 2 months, that could be, as we look forward, the January final crop report, if we continue to see yield reductions on the corn and the soybeans, I would suspect that we'll probably do something on the export side of the world or balance sheet if we don't see those large purchases show up by then.
So let's kind of talk China exports and how that's looking.
Well, there again, we're missing those huge purchases. China absent the market, as you can see on the slide right there. The current year, we're well below last year's, even below that spike in the middle of October on the 5-year average. Last year we didn't see much sales until we got closer to December. I do believe that we will need to see those sales pick up here in the next 2 weeks for us to, at least hold steady that we think that we can hit that targeted USDA number of just over 2 billion bushels.
So another place that we also export to is Mexico's. Kind of tell me about Mexico's.
Yeah, and looking at that graph, that kind of stuck out to me. I know we see those every week, the breakdown of who's buying what, but just looking at their purchases, and again, most of that corn comes on rail, so which would lead me to believe that they have the incentive or the ability to get it bought now and take it, but significantly without Mexico being in the market, being a significant purchaser, we would definitely be in a different situation on this corn picture. Most of that corn, as everybody knows, comes west of the Mississippi River, moves via rail. So we have large crops in the Dakotas to deal with. Yep, there's a pretty good feed demand hole to fill down in that Nebraska, Kansas area. But Mexico has been just awesome to have step up and make those purchases this year.
So let's kind of switch from corn to soybean. What are you seeing there?
Last export sales report at 38.8 million bushels. That was a pretty good number. The week before was 25.8. China's still lagging on that, but as we look at the whole picture, we're going to need to see that step up. Running not very close to where we were at last year. This next 2 weeks is going to be very critical in that time frame to see if China steps in and starts purchasing a bunch of beans. I'm kind of on the camp that maybe they will, but it might not be until a couple weeks into November. It might be a little bit later this year. Still remaining hopeful that we hit those export sales numbers or some pretty large purchases by China, but they haven't showed up yet. So everybody kind of holding their breath to see if that happens.
So I can hear the concern. How much of a concern are these export sales becoming?
Well, it is a concern. I think it's weighing on the trade. We can't bust over that $5 in that nearby contract on the corn. Tested it twice last week. $13 on the beans. Just doesn't seem to find a lot of buyers in the market right now until we get some confirmation. So it is concerning. I do believe that when we get to that January report, there will be an adjustment if we don't see some large purchases between now and probably mid-December. That export window closes pretty tight and pretty quick on the beans. So shipments came out today at 79.3 or 73.9 million bushels versus the 51.6 last week. Need to average 32 million bushels and change the balance of the year. We're going to need to put those beans on the water. As most people know, after March, April, that bean export program really dries up in a hurry. So we're going to need to see those beans get sold. We're going to need to see them get on the water. And we're probably looking at the chart. We're leaning to the next 2 weeks. If we don't see something turn around there, we're going to need some fresh news to at least drive this market a little bit higher.
Well, let's say we don't reach those numbers. What's going to happen? What does happen?
Well, first thing is the USDA will adjust the export number on the balance sheet. How low and how quickly they take it remains to be seen. As we move forward, that January time slot, the end of December, January has historically been a pretty decent place to market some beans. So we have a lot of beans that are in storage in farmers' hands, looking for a home, looking for, maybe that time frame. They put them in the bin. Several elevators, their 3-month or their deferred pay contracts run out or DP. So farmers first of the year generally looking to sell that rally. If we don't get that, the basis is definitely going to have to do the heavy lifting because we still see crush margins that are very lucrative. So probably see the basis do the work to get the grain to actually move.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Looking forward to this week's export sales. We had a flash export sale today on corn to Mexico, another 200,000 metric tons. So a little bit of soybean cake and meal into the Indonesian market. But hopefully we can get something fired up and moving towards the end of the week.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
For premium content, you can head over to the CommStock Report, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.